So, and then the rabbit said, "I don't even know how to fly this plane." Oh, hey there, how are you doing? Today I will show you how to play No One by by Alicia Keys, covered by Rex Orange County. That intro, by the way, you just saw was me trying to pretend to make a joke while nobody gets it. So, you know a joke is good when you have to explain it. Am I right? Today I will show you how to play that song I just told you about. First I'm just going to play through the entire song, then I will explain the chords in a bit more detail, and then I will also explain the strumming pattern in a bit more detail, and also talk a bit about how he switches from a major to a minor chord, what effect that gives to a song. Also, I would really like to know from all of you what sort of video you would like to see that wouldn't be a guitar lesson, because I do really enjoy doing these guitar lessons, but at the moment I don't really find that much songs that I really like to do a lesson on. So if there's anything else you would love to see me do, definitely let me know. I'm open for everything. Well, not everything. I'm still keeping my clothes on, but just normal stuff about guitar, about music. So let me know that, and then I will see what sort of videos I can make too about music or about guitar. So that's that. I also want to give a huge thank you to Christian for donating to my PayPal. You really helped me out in this way. Thank you so much for your support. Also check out my Instagram. There you can vote which song you would like to see next sometimes. So that's nice as well, I think. You can also follow me on Snapchat and on Twitter if you like. I'm now going to show you how to play the song, and I really hope to see you after I played the song. So the song is just in standard tuning, you don't have to use a capo or anything like that, so we can go directly into the song. Oh, and also, some of these chords you can't really read the name well. You can see which chord you have to play, but you can't really read the name well. I will put the names of the chords in the description so you know what you're playing, but you can still play it anyway because the chord diagram is just very seeable. It's just really good to see. So that's that. So that's how to play the song. I will now explain the strumming pattern and some chords in a bit more detail. Rex Orange County managed to make the song a bit more jazzy than it already is, which is quite nice. So we start off with the first chord, which is a D sharp major 7. And he usually, with this chord, he does this. He just hits each string independently, starting from the A string, so that's what he mostly does with this chord. Nothing too weird. And then what he really does with the strumming pattern is he uses his fingers, not a pick, and then he sometimes plays a couple of notes independently like this. So from top to bottom, and then so hitting the G, the D, and the G string. Like that. And then he does the same thing really, but like hitting each note independently. So again, he starts from the top and then goes to the bottom with the strings. And then when he's playing the C minor 7, he sometimes does this. He sometimes plays the note independently as well, and sometimes he plays a chord like this. Something like that, so. Then you only hit the D and the G and the B string with your fingers and the bass note with your thumb, so. And then you can hit some strings independently. It's all about, he does it a bit random, so what I'm saying is he changes it up. Sometimes he plays a chord while doing this, and sometimes he plays a couple of notes. But yeah, you can play around with that as you like. He does that as well. So, but he usually tends to do something like that, so. Sort of in that way, and then when he's going to the G sharp minus the G sharp major 7, he also sometimes hits the chord, and sometimes he does that, and the same with the G sharp minor 6. You can play around with it. I've shown you some examples of how you can do it, so. And then, but just really be free in how you play it exactly, because there's no use in doing it exactly like him, because again, he's doing it a bit random, so he's doing it just how he feels like it at the moment, and you should do that as well. When you know how to play these, something like that, so using your thumb and your 3 fingers, you're already a long way further. And you can, I think you're also able to hit these notes independent. That might be the most easiest, so. Like that. So that's really the strumming pattern and the chords. The chords aren't too difficult because I think you have quite some time to change them most of the time. Except for this G sharp major 7 to the G sharp minor 7, minor 6. That might be a bit quick, but there's no other way. Yeah, you just have to try it a few times. That's all I can say about that. What's interesting about this little walk, you could call it. King Krule also has it in one of his songs, and I think Rick's Orange County also has it in one of his other songs, but I'm not too sure. Then really the last thing that I wanted to talk about in this chord progression is this change from the G sharp major 7 to the G sharp minor 6, because what's so interesting about this chord, or these two chords, is that they're the same note, really the same root note, but the one is the major chord and the one is the minor chord. And as you can see the name, so this is a G sharp major 7 and this is a G sharp minor 6. But what's interesting about it is that, as you might know, a major chord usually sounds a bit more happy, so usually people see it as sounding more happy, and a minor chord usually sounds a bit more sad, so like that. The funny thing about it is that you can make a very happy song and using minor chords, because although a minor chord might sound a bit sad, it's alright. It's not that sad, because especially when you're having a chord progression like this, those were 3 minor chords out of the 4 chords that were played, and it didn't sound really sad in my opinion, so. Of course, there are also other things that can make a song sad, like the tempo or the rhythm, but what I'm trying to say by that is that this sadness of a minor chord isn't always that hearable in a song, which is nice, because otherwise when you would be playing a minor chord, everybody would suddenly get sad when you're playing a happy song, so that's alright. But the times that a minor chord might sound very sad, which is something that I think West Orange County was trying to accomplish in this chord progression, is when you're going from a major chord to a minor chord, because in this song you hear a major chord, the G sharp major 7, which sounds kinda more jazzy because it's a major 7 chord. It makes it a bit more mellow, a bit more relaxing, you could call it. And then going to a G sharp minor 6 makes it quite sad, which is what I'm trying to say, is that when you're going from a major chord to a minor chord after each other with the same root note, that's, I think, important, gives this quite sad effect. Well, it doesn't really give this sad effect, but it really puts an accent, or like it really lets you hear the sadness of the minor chord really well, because you can compare it, because this sounds quite happy, and then going to this sounds a bit sad. And using these words sad and happy is a bit subjective, I know that, but I hope you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's nice that he does it in his chord progression, and he does that in other songs of his as well. He really knows how to hit that soft spot. But yeah, that's something interesting that I wanted to say about this chord progression. Try that as well if you're making a song. I can't exactly tell you when this sounds nice, going from a major chord to a minor chord using the same root note, because that's most important. What I'm trying to say is that he's changing from a major to the minor chord with the same root note. That gives it this sad effect, not just any major or any minor chord, but it's all about that he's playing a G sharp major to a G sharp minor. Anyways, that's what I wanted to say. Try to do that as well. Again, I can't really say to you when that sounds nice. Sometimes people make a verse in a major chord, for example the A major chord, and then make the chorus in the A minor chord. You can try stuff like that, or just in the chord progression like Rex Orange County did in this song. I hope that's interesting to know or to learn a bit about. But I think that's really everything I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you the next time.